Google Pixel 9a rumors all over the internet today. And I'm not going to spend too much time harping on the design of the phone itself. Those are early leaked images. I'm sure the design is going to change over the course of the next 6 months or so before the device is released. I mean, all you need to know is it really looks like an iPhone 12, believe it or not. So I'm not really going to comment a whole lot on that just yet. But what I am going to comment on, this is the interesting part to me, is that the 9a even exists. I kind of thought this is where we were going when I saw the pricing for the Pixel 9. When we had talked earlier about Google doing one release a year, I thought we were going to get the 9, the 9 Pro, the 9 Pro XL, and then the Pixel 9 Fold device. But when they released the Pixel 9, and it was as beefed up as it was, and then they dropped that $800 price tag, I'm thinking to myself, wow, that leaves a big window open, a big door open for a Google Pixel 9a earlier next year, and that seems to be what we're going to get. The other thing it does is that it kind of revives the Pixel 8a. It kind of saves this device, which had been a lost device for a while, because I thought the Pixel 9 would come in and kind of make this obsolete, kind of make this a pointless phone. But it really hasn't done that, because $800 for a Pixel 9, and you're looking at this guy that was on sale recently, I think for $4, link will be in the description. But, that's kind of where this device is going to live, that $375 to $450 price range over the course of the next few months, especially around the holidays and stuff like that, and Black Friday. So there's going to be a lot of deals on this phone. And when you think about that, I'm kind of glad that the Pixel 8a is brought back into the fold, because this device, I don't want to say it got a bad rap or it had a bad break, just given the kind of awkwardness with the Pixel 8 pricing, but this phone is really nice. You get a display, you get a gorgeous display. I understand it's not super Actua, but it's still Actua. It's still a very nice panel on this phone. You get the smaller form factor, which a lot of people like. You get the plastic build, which a lot of people like as well. They don't want to have to worry about glass all the time. I rock this without a case, not having to worry about it. Throw it on a table, throw it down on a surface. You're not going to worry about it cracking right away. Tensor 3, so you're going to have all the benefits there. I really like Tensor 3. I thought Tensor 3 really got things on track for Google. It got the heat stuff for the most part under control. It offered better battery life than we've seen previously. I have not had the modem issues on the 8a that I had on the 7a, so that's a significant improvement, because the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 7 series devices had bad modems. I had nothing but issues getting from 5G to 4G, and that seemed to be where the disconnect was. Whenever I lost 5G signal, the Pixel didn't know what to do with itself. It didn't know to switch over. The modem didn't understand to switch over to 4G until I got 5G service back. It just sat there and like, not doing anything. I'm waiting for 5G. I'm going to sit here and wait for 5G to come back. I'm not going to give you any signal, instead of switching over to 4G where there was perfectly fine signal. So I did not have that issue whatsoever with the Pixel 8a. So it's a nice compact phone. It's got 8 gigs of RAM. You're going to have some AI stuff here. So it doesn't have Gemini Live yet, but I checked with that. But you do have Gemini Advanced on here. You can ask it questions. There are things that you're going to get. You get all the Google Pixel feature extras. So this is a nice, well put together, powerful device that you're going to get for around $400. So that's really nice. So I am glad to see that trend continued with Google. I wasn't, when we thought that the A series was going away, I wasn't necessarily sad, because I thought the Pixel 9 was going to step in and take over for that. But I am kind of glad now, with the Pixel 9 pricing being where it is, that we're going to have that budget option come back. You got to imagine it's going to have a Tensor 4. You got to imagine, it's interesting, because with Google giving so much RAM to its devices now, you wonder if the cheaper series devices doesn't get 12 gigs of RAM next year. If you get a Pixel 9a with 12 gigs of RAM, a Tensor 4, and coming in around $450, $500, that becomes a really competitive device. And I don't want to hear about Tensor. I don't want to hear complaints about the raw power. I don't want to hear that you can get a OnePlus 12R for $500 with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. The Google Pixel devices offer something different. And that's really what I think a lot of people miss, and non-Pixel fans miss. So if you're somebody who understands that, if you're somebody who values that, then this device sticking around, the A-series devices sticking around, definitely is a good thing. And so those rumors may be happy today. It'll be interesting to see what the design is. I understand they're probably going with flatter edges. That's just something you're going design language across the board. They're probably going to want to keep the design language uniform. So I'd fully expect kind of the, people are going to complain about it, but the more iPhone-esque design to the device. I don't have a problem with that. iPhone didn't. There's certain things back and forth design wise that I really don't have an issue with, especially on a device like the 9A that would be coming in at a lesser price tag. But depending on the AI that Google's able to put on that, depending on the camera that you're getting on a phone like that, it is refreshing to kind of see that. Now, and the other thing is, I don't think you're going to have the awkwardness that you had with the 8A versus the Pixel 8. I don't think you're going to have that awkwardness with the Pixel 9 device versus a 9A, because the Pixel 9, $800, I mean, you think what? On a sale, you're going to get that maybe down to $600 over the course of a year? $650? I don't see the price being cut in half. I mean, that would be shocking to me if Google were able to cut that price in half and bring that all the way down to where it would compete with an A-series device. So while I understand that there's price increases across the board with the Google products, I kind of see where that leads as far as the lineup's concerned in giving every device its own little slot and then not having a situation where Google's essentially cannibalizing its own sales on a device because they put a sale on another device that people are like, well, wait a minute now. If this has better features, why wouldn't I pick this up for $50 more or the same price when I can? Why would I do that when this device is going to have a little bit less? So I think that Google alleviates that awkwardness. It gives the 9A its own window. It really gives a nice runway there where the 9A can just enjoy the press of being an impressive mid-range device with the Google extras and AI and a lot of RAM and Tensor 4 and good battery life. So you get that long road there that Google can enjoy without having to deal with essentially all the process stories that I and others did, where it's like, why wouldn't you just wait for a Pixel 8 on a sale? So I think overall, we talked about the A-series going away. I don't think it's Google getting away from the strategy we talked about marketing-wise. I think it's Google understanding the marketing a little bit better and saying, okay, if we're going to keep these prices here, we can then create a little vacuum, a little space in the mid-range for our 9A device. And I think overall that's going to be a good thing. So we wanted to see consistency from Google. Wanted to see the marketing department use its noodle a little bit there, kind of come up with something that made sense. Stop being awkward on its site with devices that are the same price and reasons why you'd pick the old device over the new device. So I think even though the 9A is a deviation from where I thought we'd wind up, I do think it's along the same vein where Google's making smart choices with its device launches, smart choices with the pricing, smart choices with the features that it adds and the support and everything. So far, so good. Really liking my 9 Pro XL. Going to have another video on that on Thursday. We're going to have the comparison with the 8 Pro, so there's lots to look forward to there, but so far, so good. We gave Google that reset. We said, here's the year they're going to prove it. They're going to have to prove it. Here's the year they're going to have to prove they know what they're doing. And so far, release, good, no problems. We'll see about the Android 15 release, and then we'll see about other releases, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from Google so far here towards the end of 2024. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have a Steve-licious day.